Okay, we're back, we're live, we're ThinkTech here on a given Thursday afternoon at the 3 o'clock block. And we have with us Clayton Naluai and Michael Yee, and they have a point in common. This is like, what's my line? What could that point be? How would you ever know or guess? This may help. The 7 arts of change. Maybe that helps you. No, but I think it'll take you a long time to figure this one out. They are together in Aikido. Okay, this happens to be the 60th anniversary of Aikido in Hawaii, and we have these two gentlemen to explain what it is, how it works, what it can do for you, and what it can do for you in business, and in, I suppose, in life in general. Okay, and so we want to sort of get a handle on that because it's part of Hawaii's rich cultural tradition, and it's part of those things that make living in Hawaii a nicer place. And we want to see if we can't find out how to blend Aikido with a better life here and insinuate it by name or by concept into our daily lives, okay? And business lives. So let's start with you, Clayton Naluai. What is it about Aikido? How did you get involved in it in the first place? What attracted you to it?
Well, 50-something years ago.
But who's counting?
I was invited to a class. The class was at 4:30 in the morning. I was interested enough to attend that class at 4:30 in the morning. I used to be in the entertainment business before.
In the what?
Entertainment business before.
Ah, what did you do then?
I was a member of the Surfers before.
Oh, a singing group.
Right.
Back in the 50s, and I mean the 1950s.
50s, 60s, yeah.
The 1950s.
Yeah. And,
you were singing on Waikiki Beach.
Right.
Those were the days when Hawaiian music was really great. It was
right.
fabulous.
Right. Those were the days, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was invited to a class. I observed the class, and I found it interesting, although it didn't look real to me. This guy was moving around the mat area, and people were flying all over the place. And I thought, wow, this is interesting, but it doesn't look real. So I decided to attend his next class, which was 2 days later. We opened the class, he pointed to me, and he said, "Come up here." And so I walked up to him, and he asked me, "Can you tumble?"
Tumble?
Tumble.
Like fall down, tumble?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, "Yes." And the next thing I knew, I was flying through the air. And I didn't know how he threw me. I didn't have any uncomfortable feeling, a feeling of wanting to resist anything. In fact, it was a great feeling, of a woohoo feeling, and I tumbled.
Yeah. And suppose you had said, "I don't know how to tumble."
Well,
that would have changed everything.
Right.
We wouldn't be here today.
Right. So I tumbled, and when I tumbled, after I tumbled, I asked myself, what the heck is this? How did this guy do what he did? And so I made a decision to learn something about this.
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
After practicing with him for a few months, a couple of months, because I was living on the mainland at the time, he was going to back to Japan, and so I said to him, you know, to his sensei, which is the guy who brought Aikido to Hawaii 60 years ago. I said to his sensei, I'm not interested in martial arts. I'm not interested in learning how to protect myself.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
I said, I'm interested in how you can apply this in your life. And he said to me, I know that you're interested in how can apply this to your life.
He saw that in you.
Right. And so that was my journey. That's what drove me to continue to practice Aikido. When a person who practices Aikido, they can practice it with their survival in mind, or they can practice with a bigger picture, and that is how can they live the life that they want to live. The key thing that my teacher wrote, and we say it every day, is let us have a universal spirit that loves and protects all creation and helps all things grow and develop.
What was his name?
Koichi Tohei. He like I say, he brought Aikido to Hawaii over 60 years ago.
He's not alive.
He's passed now.
Yeah. But he really got you.
Yes.
And you then studied it for the last 60 years.
Ever since then.
And you live by it. I mean,
Yes.
you live by it and you make a living from it. No?
Yes.
And you're running, is dojo the right word?
No, I don't run the dojo. The dojo, I got started. I started the dojo, and we don't get paid to teach at the dojo, to start the dojo. So I don't. I haven't made money teaching Aikido, but I've made a living, a good living, by taking the principles of Aikido, which is let's have a universal spirit that loves serving one another, instead of it's either me or you, and it's not going to be me, it's going to be you. Serving one another without seeking attention or praise, without any hope or reward, and creating it so everybody wins, a win-win situation for everybody. Now, people hear those words, and the words are familiar.
Yeah, they are.
And most people don't actually experience that.
So why the word's familiar? I mean, it seems to me this is, it sounds in Buddhism, it sounds in compassion, it sounds in, sort of a peaceful coexistence with everybody around you. But it also sounds in local style.
Right.
Something maybe we lost a little of,
Right.
In Hawaii, but it sounds like something in the Hawaiian culture anyway.
Right. Well, to answer your question, I was learning this from this Japanese guy, and it felt very Hawaiian.
Yeah.
He taught the class in Japanese. I didn't understand Japanese, but I thought he was such a communicator, good communicator, that I thought I understood whatever he said. And then I inquired. I talked with my mom, and my mom said, "Go down and talk to Auntie Alice." Auntie Alice knew me before I was born. She knew my mother and dad. I went there, and I found out that it is the same thing. Aloha, love. Alo means in the presence of, and ha means breath, life, God. So aloha. So that's
it's an easy connection.
Yes.
The best of both sides
Right.
of the world, really.
Which is universal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now this means that you committed to this, you learned it, and now you teach it, and you counsel with it,
Right.
and advise people about
Right.
it. But is that your career now, or you have another career operating at the same time?
My career is to serve people.
Got it.
That's my career. To
Okay.
serve people without seeking attention or praise, without any hope or reward. To serve people. That's what I do. That's my purpose in life, and that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's noble. I mean, we need more of that, actually. I mean, it's in ThinkTech we care about the common good. We think that people should, not focus so much on self-interest as on concern about the community, trying to do good for the community, however they do that. And that's not inconsistent with running a business.
Right.
It's just a matter of your orientation, how you look at the world and how you conduct yourself every day. It's not a religion.
Right.
It's not Aikido, but I
It's
think it's connected,
It's very spiritual. It's not a religion, but it's very spiritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a community thing.
It's just the core of our being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you actually teach people about Aikido? What's the daily process of it?
Well, there are principles of Aikido
Yeah.
that you can apply in your daily life, and the principles because you can apply it to your daily life. You can apply it in business, because if you're in business, it's part of your life, and Mike Yee here came to my class, leadership class,
3 years ago.
And well, I'll let him tell his story because he applied his business.
To sort of connect you guys up
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
And Mike, so what led you to a leadership class in Aikido?
I was working in the financial service industry, and a lawyer, his name's Stephen Yim, he practices estate planning. So he and I knew one another for about 20 something years, and but we were just acquaintances. What happened is we had some clients in common, and he noticed the way that I treated my clients, and he said, you know, Mike, I think you'd be interested in coming with me to this experience, like what Clay's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I'm not, I'm not interested in learning how to do martial arts. He says, don't worry, just come. So I did, and I learned and experienced by practicing the arts with one another. I learned
This is the arts of Aikido,
Yeah.
but not martial arts.
Yeah.
It's a different kind, another side of Aikido, yeah?
There's an art, and there are exercises together that is intended to give you an experience. And the thing about Aikido is it takes two people in order for me to get in touch with that feeling. So it's like two people helping one another to improve and to grow together.
No man is an island.
Yeah.
No person is an island.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short break. That's Michael Yee, financial planner, and we have Clayton Naluai, who brought Michael Yee into Aikido, and he himself, Clayton, has been involved in it for the duration, almost the duration, of Aikido here in these islands. 60, almost 60 years.
55 years.
55, but who's counting?
Yes.
We'll be right back after this break. Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell, founder of ThinkTech Hawaii. We are a digital media nonprofit that covers things that matter to tech, energy, diversification, globalism, and progress for our state, the state of Hawaii. We broadcast on community television and on Oceanic Cable Channel 16. We also stream our shows and interviews live on the internet as both radio and video, and of course we post them here on YouTube. We collaborate with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association to present monthly luncheon programs on subjects of interest to the business community, and we write for the Honolulu Star Advertiser. ThinkTech works hard to raise public awareness in Hawaii. Check out our website, thinktechhawaii.com, and come to our YouTube channel, ThinkTech Hawaii. We hope you support our mission and that you like our work. I'm Jay Fidell. Mahalo. Okay, we're back. We're live. This is ThinkTech Talks here on a given Thursday afternoon, the 3 to 4 block. I'm Jay Fidell, and we're talking with Clayton Naluai and Michael Yee about Aikido. It's the 60th anniversary of Aikido in these islands, and there's a lot to learn about, a lot to learn from Aikido that you can use in your life. And so we were talking about the experience that Michael Yee had in finding Aikido, in connecting up with Clayton. So tell us more about what appealed to you, in the process.
What I found about the process is that I can learn things by reading, but when I read something, it's not the same as doing something, not the same as experiencing something. So I know one time Clayton said, you can read a book about swimming, next thing you know, you jump in the pool and you drown. So the only way to learn swimming is to actually get in the water and learn to swim. So what Aikido does for me is by doing the exercises, by doing the practicing, working with another person, I get in touch with my own being, my own abilities to figure out where my mind is, because most of the time I was unconscious of it. So to learn to work with people as opposed to compete against people, to learn to be calm, to be focused, For example, in business, oftentimes you think about, okay, I have an agenda today, I want to talk about this, and basically you have that agenda as me, right? It's the opposite. What is effective with people is it's about them. So in Aikido, in order to do it properly, I've been taught by Clay to focus on your opponent. We help one another. And to see what it is that they're saying, to stand in their place. And from there, then I can help them. From there, I can help them. So instead of telling people what to do, you listen, and then you offer choices.
Mm-hmm. So this is a way of engaging with other people. It's a way of creating a relationship that's a win-win relationship where nobody is particularly on top, and where you're very, it really sounds Buddhist, where you're very compassionate about you're sensitive to what that person is doing, thinking, and wants. And then you come to some understanding with this person, and you have a special relationship. You know, I always felt that the best people in the world are the ones who can have unique relationships with everybody around them. In other words, my relationship with you, it is a special thing. And my relationship with Clayton is a different relationship, because I work to find out exactly what he's about. Mm-hmm. So how could it be the same? It must be different. It also strikes me from what you say that you're in a relationship business. You're in financial planning, and it's very important. I mean, it's not the only business like that, but it's clearly a business that requires you to understand and listen carefully to your clientele.
Right.
So how does that work? I mean, you talked about exercises and practicing. What are the exercises? What are the practicing? And how do you apply those exercises and practicing to relating to your own clientele?
The first thing is when we do the exercises is to know when sometimes when we're in a situation with people, you start tensing up. You think, I need to get to this outcome. And when we practice Aikido, if we tense up, can't do it. You know, it's dependent on us recognizing the state of my mind. So when we practice, my partner, or Naluai Sensei, will be able to tell me when my mind is relaxed and calm and when it's not. All these exercises, the mind, I was taught the mind moves the body. So you can't see my mind, but when I'm interacting with somebody, I can feel, because I lose my balance, I lose my natural ability to perform when my mind is not calm. So when my mind is moving,
so
when I'm nervous, when I'm thinking about myself as opposed to my partner, mm-hmm. I cannot relate. So when I'm relating, I am serving. My whole focus is to come from a space of serving. Actually, it's the basis I learned in Aikido and outside of Aikido, that the basis of relationships is love, right? And so if you come from that space, you cannot help but connect with someone, and it's not something you can fake.
Well, so in practicing, say you're practicing with Clayton, I'm going to give you your turn in a moment, okay?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
When you're practicing, well, I'm sure you know everything we've been talking about.
I'm learning.
When you're practicing with Clayton, I mean, I get the idea that the important thing is to achieve a sense of confidence, a sense of peace with what your plan is, what you'd like to do, your action. And sometimes you may not be in that space, but your partner in this engagement, the partner in this practicing exercises, say Clayton, is going to tell you, Michael, you're not quite at peace. You've got to get to a better place on this, then you'll be at peace, then you'll be prepared to do, what you need to do. Okay? Is that what it is?
That's close. That's close. what he does, in fact, so remember now, Aikido, the art, he teaches me by showing me the art, which could be throwing somebody or throwing me.
Oh, so it's physical, and it does have a connection with
with the actual art.
Well, you say art, but it's actually it's a physical.
What makes it different is that I hear the word often when we talk about boxing or we talk about sports. I hear competition.
Yeah.
So competition sometimes takes on the connotation as one person wins and the other one loses.
Yeah.
So in Aikido, the reason, if you ask Clayton, he's not going to say it's competition, is because when two people are working for a common goal to help one another, that's not competition. Yeah. So what he'll do is he'll notice. He'll notice that my mind is not calm. And I used to freak out how he would know this just by touching me. He can even know that even just by looking at me.
But in the course of this process, there would be touching, there would be martial arts involved.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he is going to evaluate you, not only on the basis of what you say, but your physical moves in the Aikido martial arts. Yeah.
Yeah. He's looking for the spirit and not necessarily the form.
Yeah.
So he's looking at my intent.
As expressed by
as expressed by
Your actions.
your actions say you're trying to throw this guy. What you're trying to do is you're trying to do a movement. And how I hold it in my head comes out differently, whether I'm trying to force the issue or throw somebody, versus I'm just trying to do a movement. So when I do the movement, then what you experience, which only can be experienced if you actually do it with people that are practicing it, is the idea of being thrown without feeling as if somebody tried to throw you. You know, I can push somebody to make them move. In Aikido, they can touch you, and if your mind is not calm, and they just do motion, you move. So by experiencing that, I get in touch with that. Then I go to work. And I'm on the telephone, and it's a tense phone call and stuff, and I got so much things overwhelming me. I catch myself being tense because I'm in touch with the feeling.
So what you have learned in the engagement with Clayton, where he tells you, you know, Michael, you're a little tense here, and you're not ready to operate at your optimal. You incorporate that. You incorporate it into your own thinking, your own ability to examine yourself, to evaluate yourself, and then he becomes part of you in a sense. And he tells you, even if he's not there, he tells you, Clayton, you know, you're a little uptight about this. You got to cool it if you want to do a good job. So now you have a, may I say, a conversation going on between you and Clayton, who has taught you to observe yourself, or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
I'm going to give you a chance.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah, when
I'm enjoying it.
when I experience it and I'm not getting it, he'll help me experience it.
Even if he's not there.
No, in class. What you know in class is, when I first got there, I used to think, I wonder if I'm going to get hurt. Because I have heard of people taking martial arts and getting hurt. And I said, you know, I got to work. I got to make a living. I got kids. And so the first thing is to have a very safe environment. And that's what he says. He speaks us through this. And so in that safe environment, we practice and we learn the experience. And what he has always taught me, that I learned, that if only I could do it, it would be of no value. So I'm giving you this, I'm teaching you and giving you the experience so you recognize that if you want it, you have within, everybody has within themselves the ability to experience and to get in touch with how you want to hold and how you want to respond to life. Because this is all it's about. It's about, it's all in the head.
Before we broke the last time, we went out on the note that no man was an island.
Yeah.
Now we go on the note that with Aikido, every man can be his own island. We're going to rectify that, reconcile that right after this break. We have Clayton Naluai here, Michael Yee. We're talking about the 60th anniversary of Aikido in the state of Hawaii. We'll be right back after this break.
Aloha, I'm Nicole Horry for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone No. 9 has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBET, the Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone's mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Nicole Horry. Mahalo.
We're back. We're live. We're at ThinkTech Talks here on a Thursday afternoon, 3 to 4 block, with Clayton Naluai and Michael Yee. And what they have in common is Aikido. And this happens to be the 60th anniversary of Aikido in the state of Hawaii. And we were talking to Michael Yee, who was a financial planner, about exactly how he got involved and how Aikido helps him. You know, it is a martial art, but it's more than that, and maybe different than that also. And it teaches you how to sort of cope with yourself. And after all, you know, it's one of the great human challenges is coping with yourself. So we have, you know, and Clayton has been observing and saying he's enjoying the conversation, but now we're going to drag him into the conversation. Clayton, do you agree with what Michael said, and would you go further on any of his points?
Well, I agree with what he said. And the way you do Aikido is the way you live your life. You cannot separate the two. If you operate out of fear, your life will be operating out of fear. If you operate or driven by love, your Aikido will be driven by love. You cannot hide it because whatever's in the mind will go out. We will reveal itself in our actions. And so that's why we can, a person who practices Aikido can take this in their life and actually discover that they are more than they thought they could be.
Well, that's always nice to find, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I mean, that validates your whole existence to find that whatever you thought you were, you're more than that. Isn't that a nice thing?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So
you can do more.
Yeah, and in more places, in more ways. So I want to take the financial planner scenario, go further than that. Okay. So I take it that this Aikido approach, where you sort of validate yourself and make sure you're in the right space, can apply to any business, any profession. So can you give me, you know, kind of a path on this for, say, a lawyer? I am a lawyer. Sorry about that.
A good one at that.
Thank you.
Excellent one.
Right. So how would a lawyer incorporate this into his practice? And I'd like to add a thought that just yesterday afternoon at this very table where you guys are sitting now, we had a discussion about mediation with Jerry Clay. He's a lawyer who practices in that area, feels very strongly that you've got to have a win-win. Okay, and I think that's what you're talking about too. So how does a lawyer build this into a practice that might otherwise be very adversarial and nasty and win-lose?
Well, principles never change. Techniques change, but principles never change. There are principles in Aikido that have to do with relationships. The number one principle in Aikido is be compassionate, love. The number two principle in Aikido is be understanding. Number three is be respectful. Number four is stand in your partner's place. And then number five, perform the above with confidence. Yeah. that's the rules of Aikido. That's the rules of relationships. Taking your focus off of yourself and putting it to somebody else. Many times, people in business or not in business or in life, they always look for something interesting, and they never find it. So I recommend to them, I encourage them, instead of looking for something interesting, be interested. Because when I ask them to look for something interesting, this is the way they look. And they say, oh, I cannot find anything interesting. And so I said, instead of, you probably never find something interesting. So be interested.
Amen to that. You know, it's like a lot of people around who really, you know, aside from their jobs, what they have to do, they're not interested in anything else. A lot of people go through life that way, and they're narrow. So the idea, I think, what I hear you saying is you ought to be interested in other things, but it's a subjective test. If you want to find interesting things, be interested in those things, and they will appear for you. They will come your way. It's easy, actually.
Yes. Like I'm interested in this right now. Yes, I'm interested in.
I shaved. I shaved. So, but now, how does this really, you know, connect with the physical aspect of Aikido?
Well, because everything comes from the subconscious mind. If there is fear in the subconscious mind, we will act fearfully. If there is love in our spirits, then we'll act lovingly. Love is a verb. Love is not a feeling. It's a verb. And so we have to get past those fears or let go of those fears. So love, which Hawaiians call the core of your being. The Hawaiians say, do things from your na'au. Now, na'au is guts, you know, intestines. Mm. They're not saying do things from your intestines. They're saying do things from your core of your being, where love resides. Get out of your head. That's what my one mentor said, Auntie Alice Holokai. She said to me, Clay, get out of your head. Go to where it's empty.
Well, I mean, there are many ways to look at life, and the best ways are the ones that integrate body and mind.
Yes.
Because you can't live on this planet as a disembodied mentality that doesn't work. It's just not sustainable. But if you can integrate and figure out how to connect your intellect and your body, then your life is more integrated. It's richer, and your experience in life. I hear you saying that anyway.
Yes, because we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. We're not aware of what we're doing. We just do it.
Yeah.
And it could be hurtful, or it could be loving. It could be compassionate, and be compassionate, assertive, or we could be arrogantly aggressive, and we don't know it. We don't realize that we're doing it because it's a habit. So the first thing we must notice is what comes up. We notice that I'm being a son of a gun now, which...
You're getting around to answering my question about the lawyer, right?
Yeah.
This is your way of getting around the question.
Yeah. So a lawyer can be compassionately assertive or arrogantly aggressive. Yeah. Arrogantly aggressive lawyers come from the place of fear. They don't know it though.
They're worried about losing.
Yes,
that's it.
Or losing face, either way.
Yes,
yeah.
And they don't know it because it's just how they react.
Mm-hmm.
A compassionate, assertive person responds to people. Arrogant, aggressive person reacts to people.
Okay, but you know, you have third parties here who are not Aikido people. They don't understand this. I mean, they haven't been through the practice and the experience and all that. And so they come to Michael and they say, you know, I want you to hit a goal for me. Financial planning, for example, or in the case of a lawyer, which will win the case for me. And you don't. And they're all hoo-hoo at you because of that. How do you deal with that? Because you may not be able to satisfy them. How do you integrate that risk, that problem, into your world shaped by Aikido thinking?
It's all about, since we don't control the outside world, and it's going to happen anyway, and so you understand that everything outside you going to happen anyway, the idea is to help them focus on what they want. So if I'm practicing, I can tell if they react out of fear, because I know when I'm reacting out of fear. And only when I know when I'm reacting out of fear and doubt do I think there's no way to correct the problem. Because in real life, things happen. I don't actually get to decide when the car comes, but I recognize that to cross the street safely, I should look both ways. So the same is with finances. To be able to give somebody advice in something that is uncertain, I don't have a crystal ball, right? And yet I can help people make intelligent, great decisions, that they can have confidence that they made the right decision. And when it doesn't work exactly the way they wanted it to, they don't get unraveled. Life doesn't end, it keeps going. And what we're gonna do is just like your doctor is telling you what you need to do to be healthy. And you can try and do that, and then sometimes you get sick anyway. So when you get sick, what a good doctor do is he's by your side and helps you to get well again. I
get two things out of that, Michael and Clayton. One is that you are actually giving some Aikido to your client.
I am.
You're doing some teaching there.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that the decision process, the experience of representing the client, it's a two-party experience. It's not just an adversarial kind of thing where he's making demands and you're responding. You're doing it together. So that's a whole different approach. And then, you know, you try your best together. There's no blame, no anger if you don't make the goal. You know, let's take one last break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what you guys are doing for the 60th anniversary, okay, of Aikido.
Perfect.
This is ThinkTech, you know. ThinkTech Talks on a Thursday with Clayton Naluai and Michael Yee, and they have in common the fact that they are both committed to Aikido as a way of thinking, a way of life, a way of integrating the physical and the intellectual in Hawaii. And we'll be right back after this break to talk about exactly how they're going to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Aikido in Hawaii. Aloha, I'm Jay Fidell of ThinkTech. Every week we produce a movie for OC16. This week our movie is about Jeff Gear, storyteller, and how he brings storytelling to Hawaii. It plays at 10:30 p.m. on Sunday and 8 times during the week. Check it out on OC16 and later on ThinkTechHawaii.com. We'll see you there. I'm Jay Fidell. Thanks.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of ThinkTech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our ThinkTech talk shows. If you didn't know it, ThinkTech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on Ustream.tv. Visit ThinkTechHawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on ThinkTech. I'm Maria Kashem, and I'll see you there.
We're back, we're live. We're talking about Aikido with Clayton Naluai and Michael Yee, who are bonded in Aikido. And the news is that this is the 60th anniversary of Aikido, and my question to them, as I warned them it would be, is how are they going to celebrate this? But before we get to that question, I'd like to, you know, just take a look at what 60 years means. 60 years is a long time. A lot of people don't live that long. You know, Clayton has been in Aikido for 55 years. I mean, it just takes 60 years from now. It was 19, what was it?
58.
58, yeah, 58. So this is an important event. Of course, 70 will be better. But for now, we're pretty thrilled with 60.
Yes.
So you guys going to have a party? Tell me what's going to happen. What are the festivities for your anniversary?
Well, we're a weekend celebration, and the first night of a celebration, we're having a public seminar to have people experience these principles. We talk about these principles, and people will actually experience what these principles feel like, and then how they can apply it in their life. And that's a public seminar. There's 3 follow-up sessions after the public seminar the following week, and then we celebrate practicing together, and we have a banquet Saturday night. So we serve the public on Friday night. Saturday we practice amongst ourselves. Sunday we have our celebration, and Saturday night, rather, and Sunday we practice amongst ourselves again. So I want to invite you to 2 things: the public seminar and our celebration in
Wild Country.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
Saturday
that,
night. Saturday night.
Yeah,
Okay.
join us.
Yes.
And when exactly? What days?
Saturday night, November 16th.
Okay, just a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, so the seminar is the 15th, on Friday night, 6 to 8.
Okay, and that's not in the Wild Country Club. Where is that?
Jodo Mission
Yeah.
Okay.
in Makiki.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a social hall in Makiki.
Okay. And then just the following what?
Evening, 5 o'clock, I think, yes?
Saturday
Saturday at
Yeah.
5.
at Oahu Country Club.
Yeah.
When you will have
celebration night.
a meal
A
together.
party.
Yeah.
It's a weekend party,
Yeah.
and we're celebrating the weekend party with the public, and then whoever else that wants to.
Well, this is great.
Yeah.
Good for you. And so, what expectation do you have for the people who will be there? I mean, who's going to come? From where? What do they think is going to happen?
If just one person comes, it's worth it.
I'm sure more than one person
No,
will come.
I'm saying I expect more than one person. But if just one person comes, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
It's sharing.
yes, and we're going to celebrate.
So you'll have demonstrations.
A little demonstration on the public seminar. You're going to go through an experience. The experience that we shared with you
Yes.
upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I should mention for the record, okay, that the 3 of us, serendipitously,
Yeah.
with no pre-planning, we wound up connecting at lunch. And in fact, Clayton bought me lunch, which was very nice because I needed lunch, actually. He must have known that. and he showed me this thing I want to show you now in the 1 minute we have left. Okay, if I grab his hand, put my hand in the crook of his elbow, and I try to bend it down, it goes right down.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Once more.
I'm going to try one more time. And he's struggling. It's not easy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That works. Okay. But if he relaxes his hand, and I do the same thing, he can stop me. I can't do it. It takes less effort somehow on his part to stop me. So I cannot bend his arm. Now this is a demonstration of Aikido.
Yes, and you.
And he hasn't hurt me.
And
I haven't hurt him.
and you will experience that and other experiences at the public seminar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see that. So you guys, I wish you a great public seminar, a great festivity. I think you share love, and what could be wrong with that? This is a wonderful thing you do, and it's very nice that you spent your life doing it. This is I wouldn't say religious, but it's spiritual anyway.
Sure. Yes.
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 Thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Michael, for
Thank you
coming
for-
on the show and sharing with us.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
us. Yes.
Yeah, aloha in the
Honor.
fullest sense. Okay. Now that was a great show. I really enjoyed that. These guys, that's Clayton Naluai, Michael Yee, talking about Aikido and the 60th anniversary. We'll be right back on our 4 o'clock show, which is today Asia in Review. Aloha.